Hey folks, Brian Blessing in Las Vegas. Glad to be with you right here, bangthebook.com. Love talking football. Continuing on with our division regular season win previews. Let's focus on the AFC West. And we're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs. You know, that number was off the board for a long time. That's the kind of impact Tyreek Hill has. His off-the-field problems remain a concern for them. But we're looking at 10.5 under $1.50. We know Mahomes was just eye-popping last year. If Hill's back, he's a big part of the weaponry there. But the reality is, if the league steps in, something happens. How many games may he miss? Looks like there'll be no criminal charges filed against Tyreek Hill. In the offseason, free agency, they get Teron Mathieu, they get the Honey Badger, and then they get Frank Clark, the defensive end, in a trade with Seattle. So they really focused on defense here in the draft because I think they were worried about what was going to go down with Tyreek Hill. They get a speedster wide receiver, McCole Hardman from Georgia. Kansas City, looks like all systems go. Good coach. You got the quarterback. They do lose their center in free agency. It was a big core in that offensive line. But Kansas City primed, it would seem, for another terrific year. Then we go to the Chargers, 9.5 over $1.25. Phillip Rivers, another year. But last year, this Chargers team seemed to be a little different. You know, they'd always hang around, that they'd have the nice upset win and never kick the door down. But this is a team I think is knocking on the door. Don't sleep on Melvin Gordon. It may be the best kept secret in the NFL. They go defense in the draft with the defensive tackle Jerry Tillery from Notre Dame. Love the kid out of Delaware, Nasir Adderley, the safety. And then they get a free agent linebacker in Thomas Davis. So the Chargers really focused on defense in the offseason. Denver, 7 under $1.25. Love the pickup here. The tight end Noah Fant could be quite the weapon. Now you got Joe Flacco at quarterback. What was intriguing is there was all this talk about Denver trading into the top 10 to get Drew Lock. They got the quarterback from Missouri all the way down in the third round. They get an offensive tackle, Dalton Risner, in the draft as well. I don't, you know, Denver's one of these teams. They're close to going either way. It'll be interesting to see what happens, with Flacco there, and how long that's going to pan out, and we'll see what Locke brings to the table. Then you go to the Raiders, and listen, Mike Mayock, John Gruden, they took a lot of heat, in the draft with those 3 number 1 picks. They get Clennon Farrell, Josh Jacobs, the running back Alabama, and Jonathan Abram, a safety from Mississippi State. Those are the top 3 picks, 3 first-round picks. People thought they went off the board with a couple of these picks. Mayock has a plan, and time will be the judge if it's going to work in the short term. 6 over $1.20 last year in Oakland before they come here to Vegas. It'll be pretty interesting to see. And then what's that relationship going to be like with Gruden and Carr and how that's all going to pan off. And, of course, you get Antonio Brown, now part of the equation. 6. And you can see the Raiders maybe stepping up to the plate. Gruden starts to implement his system a little bit. That seems like a low total to me. Kansas City, 10.5 under $1.50. It's a team that's capable of rattling off a lot of wins and being a real salty team. Do they take that next step forward? I don't think they pull a Jacksonville where we're there and then they fell apart. But there you have it, the season wins for the AFC West. I kind of think the Raiders can maybe get to 7 wins this year of all teams that you're taking a peek at there. And I do think if Melvin Gordon stays healthy, this Chargers team is the real deal. I could see them being a 10-win football team. Love talking football with you. Bangthebook.com always invites you to check out the sports betting podcast with our good buddy Adam Burke. Follow me on Twitter @Brian Blessing.